What's good, YouTube and Twitch, because we're live to Twitch right now, and welcome to the house. In Rise of the Duelist, they're dropping a brand new archetype. I have not got to read a single card. All I know is it's called Dragma, and this chick looks scarily a bit like Ray. So let's go ahead and get into the Dragmas from Rise of the Duelist. So this is Ecclesia, the Dragma Saint, a level 4 light spellcaster effect monster, attack 1500, defense 1500. You can only use the first and second effects of this card's name once per turn. If there is a monster special summoned from the extra deck on the field, you can special summon this card from your hand. So if your opponent's looking at their extra at all, blip, but also yourself, it's just if there is one. If this card is normal or special summoned, so if you've been summoning from the extra deck and summoning her out of your hand, add a Dragma card from your deck to your hand, except Ecclesia. But you cannot special summon from the extra deck the rest of the turn. Wow, what a cost to get the plus. This card cannot be destroyed by battle with a monster that's special summoned from the extra deck. A little bit of armor versus... So, it's like playing off there being extra deck cards. I do like that it doesn't depend on your opponent, so it helps her always be useful as overlay or link material. But the other effect, locking you out of the extra deck for the rest of the turn, is pretty darn wild. Let's see our next dude. This is Theo, Dragma, the Dragma Iron Hammer. And yeah, he looks pretty cool. This is very, very almost original anime-esque when it comes to these cards, huh? We see a level 4 light spellcaster effect monster, attack 1800, defense 1500. You can only use the first and third effect of this card's name once per turn. If there is a monster special summoned from the extra deck on the field, you can special summon this card from your hand. So they're always useful, and both of these are 4s with decent stats. This card cannot be destroyed by battle with a monster special summoned from the extra deck. Also, sensing a theme here. You can target one face-up monster special summoned from the extra deck until the end of the turn. This card gains 600 attack, and that target loses 600 attack. That's okay. I mean, it's still going to pop out of your hand just if there's anything from the extra deck. I like that it doesn't depend on your opponent. That's what I'm really digging about this early on. These effects aren't too wild other than, hey, any extra deck monster, blip, I'm out there. So, like, rank 4 is, like, getting a lot of freaking tools right now. And another 4! Are you kidding me? Okay. Here's Aiden, the Dragma Oracle, level 4 light spellcaster effect monster, attack 1000, defense 1800. You can only use the first and third effects once per turn. If there's a monster special summoned from the extra deck, surprise, you can special summon the card. This card cannot be destroyed by battle with a monster special summoned from the extra deck, surprise. If this card on the field is destroyed by battle or card effects, so including your own effects, you can special summon one Dragma monster from your deck except Aiden. So if you have a way to progressively destroy him yourself, he is self-replacing. Diagrams at 1, of course you can figure out the fun ways. He's a light, so he's not an attribute. All these are light, aren't they? Yeah,
Bro,
so far.
It's a level 4. You can just pop it with Barrage.
Ah, I see. I see, the big brain. Alright, now we got a big boy. I wonder if he pops out as easy. We have Fleur de Lis, the Dragma Knight. He is a level 8 spellcaster, light also, 2500, defense 2500. You can only use the first and second effects once per turn. If there's a monster special summoned from the extra deck on the field, you can special summon this from the hand. Also, if you control another face-up Dragma, you can target a face-up monster on the field, negate its effects till the end of the turn. So 2500 just pops out, so you can have an all Mirage. This is crazy. Just any monster special summoned from the extra deck on the field. It's kind of wild that some of these don't depend on the opponent at this point. When your Dragma monster declares an attack, you can have all face-up Dragma monsters gain 500. So it's only positive. It's like, flop out, I'm gonna force your negate, or I'm gonna be negating something, and everybody gets even bigger. Wow, that's pretty insane. That's pretty cool. Now we have another level 8 light spellcaster, but this has a much more reasonable attack for these effects, 1500/3000. So we rank 8ing also. Wow, rank 4, rank 8. You can only use the first and second effects of this card's name once per turn. You can banish one of either a Fusion, Synchro, Xyz, or Link monster from your graveyard. Special summon this card from your hand. Okay, so a little more reasonable, but if you've linked up at all, that is the easiest condition to reach. During your main phase, You can send from your extra deck 2 monsters with different names to the graveyard. Oh, that's kind of big, getting the foolish stuff. Especially, like, just seeing the new fossils. But getting the foolish stuff from your extra deck, that's kind of stonks. Then your opponent sends 2 monsters with different names from their extra deck. Oh, that would make the mirror a lot more impressive, too. For the rest of the turn, after this effect's activated, you cannot special summon monsters from the extra deck. So you get rid of 2 of theirs, and you would assumedly get 2 positive effects like Unts or Herald, or maybe some of the fossils. I don't freaking know what you're playing in your life, but just something positive for yourself while hurting your opponent if it's not the mirror match. But if it's the mirror match, you could be running into their Unts and that kind of stuff as well. Very, very interesting.
No, I can't remember.
Oh, go ahead.
I can't remember. Would Entis pop off of that?
Let me see.
Yes, I believe it does.
Oh, Entis and Omega would be interesting.
I'm pretty sure Unts would pop via this effect. Unts reads, must be special summon, blah, blah, blah. We're looking for the other effect. If this card is sent to the graveyard, so sent period, yes, Unts would be popping off. So, like, people could even be, you know, putting these in the side deck for anti this card, maybe, if it got that big. Sorry, which card were we on? I believe we scrolled back up to her. So, next up, we've got Cardinal of Dogma, Dragmatin, a level 10 light spellcaster, special summon effect monster, 3200/3200. Cannot be normal summoned or set, must be special summoned from your hand by its own effect. You can target 4 monsters in your opponent's graveyard. Oh, that's harder to achieve. Fusion, Synchro, XYZ, and Link monster. So your opponent would have to have all 4 of these for this card. So this is the cheese boss monster that's not going to fit in. Special summon this card from your hand and banish those targets. At the start of damage step, if this card battles a special summoned monster, destroy all attack position monsters your opponent controls, then inflict 800 damage to your opponent for each Fusion, Synchro, Link, or XYZ monster destroyed by this effect. This is a ridiculous summoning condition compared to everything else. They had to have something anime-esque or silly on the way. There's no way they're going to line up a Fusion, Synchro, XYZ, and Link consistently for you within the metagame. Pendulums, maybe, but seriously, I just don't see. It has to be one of each, it looks like, so I'm not feeling that one. Typo, it's level 11. Oh no, oh, that's the important part, huh?
I mean, all the stun decks now have to be wary about how they build their extra deck. They can't just add in whatever they want.
It's from their graveyard.
Yes, both players send 2 cards to the graveyard. So if you improperly
they just have to be more careful about what they're you're not going to be... Okay, this is ridiculous. I'm moving on from this conversation. Dogmatic Nation Dragma, field spell card. You can only use the second and third effects of this card's name once per turn. While this card is face up in the field zone, face up Dragma monsters you control cannot be targeted by the effects of monsters special summoned from the extra deck. Target protection is actually somewhat nice. It's not the end-all be-all, but it's just a bonus, it would seem. During the damage step, if your Dragma monster battles an opponent's monster, you can destroy that opponent's monster. Now, that's any opponent's monster, not just from the extra. That's kind of interesting. I'm surprised they didn't continue with the theme there. That's pretty huge. You can just take out anything with all your monsters, and you get target protection. What's the third effect? If this card in the field zone is destroyed by an opponent's effect, you can have both players send 1 monster from their extra deck to the graveyard. Oh, it's going more on his theory. They gotta be careful. They gotta be careful. Alright, Disciple of the Nadir. Glasgow Yu-Gi-Oh! Farfel, where are you at? Disciple of the Nadir. Did they make this for our mans? Normal spell card. You can only activate 1 card with this card's name per turn. Send 1 monster from your extra deck to the graveyard. Then add 1 Dragma monster or 1 Albus, the Nullius Fearless, that has attack equal to or less than that monster from your deck to your graveyard to your hand, or graveyard to your hand. But for the rest of that turn, you cannot special summon monsters from the extra deck. So this is really focusing on trying to make these monsters worth. And I see multiple trap cards here. Dragma Punishment is a normal trap. You can only activate 1 card with this card's name per turn, so it has to be that good. Target 1 face-up monster your opponent controls. Send 1 monster from your extra deck to the graveyard that has attack equal to or greater than that monster's attack. And if you do, destroy that monster, but you cannot special summon monsters from your extra deck the rest of the turn. Well, it's a trap. You probably aren't worrying too much about that effect. It's okay. That's pop. pop. It's specific to monsters, right? And then I guess you could get something else by sending, like, Dragma Encounter. Normal trap card. You can only activate one card with this card's name per turn. Activate one of the following. Special summon one Dragma monster or one Albus of the Nellius Felis from your hand. And then either special summon or add to your hand one Dragma monster or Albus. Have we seen Albus? I'm sorry, first time reading these. Did we go over who
Albus is...
was? Sorry. Oh, have we not got to her yet? I don't think we've got to her yet. Or maybe she's not here, or it's a different card. Oh, yeah, it's upcoming. My bad. Sorry to get ahead. Alright, so we have Dragma Encounter, a normal trap card. You can only activate a card with this card's name once per turn. Activate one of the following. Special summon a Dragma or Albus from your hand. Either special summon or add to your hand one Dragma or Albus from your graveyard. Not the worst resource game, but like from your hand, that's a -1 to be able to do that, so it better be worth. But from the graveyard, of course, much better. Now let's get to Albus and see what Albus is all about. A level 4 Dark Dragon, so a little bit of chaos elements. We got the dark with all the light. Effect monster, attack 1800, not the worst stats. I'm guessing it's a searcher with that 1800. We'll see. You can only use the effect of this card's name once per turn. If this card is normal or special, you can discard one card. You can fusion summon one fusion monster from your extra... Oh, this took a weird turn. Fusion summon one fusion monster from your extra deck by sending fusion materials from either field to the graveyard using this card as a fusion material, but you cannot use monsters you control as fusion material except this card. So all of a sudden we've locked ourselves out of the extra deck, locked ourselves out of the extra deck. Oh, I'm gonna use your cards to summon from the extra deck. Okay, let's see this fusion now. The word we can't say for YouTube for demonetization, the Ashen Dragon. That is going to get 4 kids over here. Level 8 Dark Dragon fusion effect monster, attack 2500, defense 2000, Albus plus 1 monster with 2500 or more attack. So they need to have a big boy if you're using their cards. You can only use the third effect of this card's name once per turn. This card gains 100 attack times the original levels of monsters used as material for this card. During the turn this card is fusion summoned, this card is unaffected by activated effects of other monsters special summoned from the extra deck. Yikes. During the end phase of a turn, this card was sent to the graveyard. Either special summon or add to your hand one Dragma monster or one Albus. Interesting. End phase of the turn. So they're giving a little bit of a clock back. I don't know. This is a weird kind of addition / end. It's like, this guy's dark, he's gone rogue or something versus the rest of the archetype. Because, like, they're all light and they're anti-extra deck, and he's like sacrificing other things to go into the extra deck. So even in creating lore-wise, that is kind of freaking cool. But at the same time, I don't know how I feel like about that meshing together. I'd rather see a chaos route, especially with like Toon Chaos and other things going out. Not a bad start for an archetype. This has meta potential by far. I like it. What do you guys think? Anybody? Nobody? I'm all alone. Ethan doesn't want to say hi. Well, I think overall that they put it together pretty well. I do like what they're doing here. It's pretty dangerous to go rank 4. You know, you're going to have access to it in your extra deck and also have stuff to dump. It's kind of a crazy resource game they're building up to with these cards. But let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed the conversation. And I enjoyed doing these live reactions live. Be sure to join the streams, although we're kind of playing a random game, Super Solvers, Gizmos, and Gadgets from my childhood. So I know that's not everybody's speed. Thanks for watching, everybody.